Hello and welcome to yet a very special edition of New Day Calumet City. I'm your in-studio host, Sean Howard. Today I'm very happy because I have a good friend here who happens to be the president of the Calumet City Public Library. That's none other than Mr. Scott Nnamah. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How about you, Sean?
Good, good. Heard a lot of great things happening at the library. A new regime, if you will, new management, new ways of thinking. I mean, the style and everything is great. But before we get there, we need to know about who you are, because I know some of the residents, they venture in the library and they see you, they see your staff, and let's start talking about who are these people behind these big titles. So let's just talk about you. Where were you raised, your upbringing?
Well, Sean, I was actually born right here at St. Margaret Hospital in Hammond. Oh. My family lived right across the street from City Hall.
So you know about border communities?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You're a border baby.
Yep, so we lived here for a few years and then we moved to Dalton. So
okay.
I was born here, raised in Dalton. I went to high school at Thornridge.
Are you a Falcon?
I'm a Falcon.
Okay. Okay, you play sports there?
Yeah, I played basketball all 4 years. I was a lifeguard on a speech team, art.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you was well-rounded there.
Tried to be.
Yeah, so obviously you didn't make it to the NBA, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Was the team pretty good there?
No, not actually. Okay. Not at all.
It was the experience that counts, right? So let's talk about your community engagement. What kind of enthused you to get involved with the community somewhat?
Well, you know what? I moved here a few years ago, and I just saw a complete different Calumet City from when I was raised here, when I was born here. Everything has changed. It seemed like, it needed some inspiration. And once I, hooked up with Mayor Jones, we hit the ground running.
Yeah, yeah. And so how long have you been a resident of Calumet City now?
Approximately 4 years now.
4 years. So you kind of witnessed the tail end of what we now call the big change, if you will,
That's right.
in the demographic. And Calumet City's come a long way, which is a great segue to your role now at the library, because you're experiencing some of those things in a positive way firsthand. But when you and the newly appointed board members first came in, what were some of the inherited challenges that you had to deal with?
Well, you know what? They were coming out of, they were in the middle of a pandemic at the library, so everything, had changed. The hours were short. No one was able to really utilize the library and the facilities.
And so just as we saw in various other sectors of life, the pandemic really impacted the library as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know as you and the team came in, that was a daunting task, obviously. But as you got your team together and looking back on it and the way you came through that process, surely there was a lot of meetings that you must have. But you guys probably made a wise decision in shutting down services for a week or so, just to kind of figure things out from the pandemic and being a new regime. Can you talk about that?
That's right. So the first week when we got there, it was difficult because the director, she chose to go in a different direction.
Right.
So as the president, I had to step up, and I had to, do a few things to make the library run. So while they're the team, we engaged with the staff and we seen what they needed and we tried to accommodate them to the best of our abilities.
Right. And one thing that I like what I've been hearing, you did an outstanding program for Black History Month where you partnered with some outside agencies, brought some event planners in, and you guys really, and I saw it on the news, I saw it in the papers, how you really brought about an awareness campaign as it relates to diversity. Talk about that.
Well, working with Mayor Jones, he got the museum, the mobile museum up there, and that really helped out a lot. It just gave us a chance to, drive more citizens in and get a chance to really see what was going on at the library.
And that gave people from all walks of life a glimpse view to distinguish between slavery and that of the Holocaust, and I think that was a big hit too.
Oh, it was amazing. I got a chance to watch, there's a few videos that they showed. I got a chance to see 3. I'm not sure how many they had, but it was amazing. Just being enlightened by the museum itself. A lot of kids don't get a chance to venture off and the school, I know they teach them some things, but the museum really helped out a lot.
Yeah, it did. It was fascinating. And you performed that venture coming off of Christmas, to which, you had some people dressed as Santa and everything there. And I saw an abundance of children come into the library, and I think the mayor and his wife jumped in. Talk about what was that Christmas program all about for you guys?
Oh man, it was amazing. Like, I can't believe how many people actually came out to just see what we had going on up there. We had so much help. We had different vendors come out. We had non-for-profit. They donated a lot of things. We had food. We fed the community.
The food was pretty good.
Thank you. And yeah, we just wanted to engage with the community to show that the library is on a different path now.
Right. And let's get into the weeds of that, because, as we see technology advance, the internet advance, Google has become the public library of sorts online. But you, the mayor, your team have really looked through the community and saw a fascinating need for a physical library, correct?
Correct. Without a physical library, it would be very difficult for just patrons to come in and have a space to feel free to learn. They have computer access. We're upgrading the technology there. It's a warming center. This winter we had some pretty harsh days.
Yes.
So if the homeless, if anybody needed to use the library, it was available.
So you're making it more multi-purpose probably than it's ever been. Huh?
Absolutely. We got some upcoming plans for the library as well. So stay tuned.
Yeah, very good. I like stay tuned. And the library has become more media friendly, customer friendly, neighborhood, community friendly. How important it is for you to go outside the walls of the library to just take your message out in the streets?
Well, community engagement, that's like the biggest thing. That's my number one priority, because a lot of people, they just feel as if the library is just, there for books, but we want to offer different services and different resources for them.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of books, have you done a complete inventory and determined the necessities, if you will, what you need going forward, and what does that look like?
Well, I'll say in a few months the library will look completely different. We've worked with the staff. We weeded out some things that we need and we don't need. So there's going to be a big change coming up soon.
And when you walk in the Calumet City Public Library, it's such a welcoming feel. The atmosphere is so welcoming, and you feel as though you're at home in a sense. And I've seen the changes that you've made, and it appears that's the goal. You're trying to make it a more friendlier, not Mayberry, but up to date, but yet just a down home feeling in when you walk in there. I'm sure that was probably some of your goals and objectives walking in.
Absolutely. I wanted to feel like family. I wanted to feel like a home away from home. Mm-hmm. I want people to be able to come in and feel comfortable. I don't want them to feel rushed. That's why I wanted to extend the hours. The library was closing at a time where I felt like people were rushed. They had to get in and get out. I want you to be able to feel like this is a place to go and relax a little bit.
So access was important to you. And you now have Saturday hours, I was told.
Well, we have upcoming Saturday hours. We're still working on logistics about that, but it's coming soon as well.
Now, as it relates to the pandemic again, and we've seen so many companies, government, non-government companies, private industry, go through staffing issues, and it's probably no different.
Oh yeah, that's one of our challenges. We just posted a new website, so everyone can go and check that out. But we're going to be hiring very soon, getting some more staff members. Absolutely.
Right. And I think that's fascinating, because people who live in the community should have an opportunity to potentially work in the community.
I agree.
Yeah. So as we go through technology, have you brought in experts to kind of dissect where you were as it relates to technology, to tell you what your needs really were?
Yes, we actually have. We have a vendor. He comes in and he's our IT specialist. So he's looking at getting us some new updated computers, updated software. We're going to just try to modernize and optimize the library.
And so when you coalesce much of what you've talked about, you've done this in like little time, maybe 6 to 8 months, maybe. It must have been a whirl. It's like a full-time job.
It is, actually. Since October when we started, we just tried to assess everything that we had and what we needed, and that's what we've been working towards.
Let's talk about the public schools, because I know you and I had talked some time ago about the ability to go in and let the school systems know, both grade school and high school, that the Calumet City Public Library is there for you. Have you been able to be successful in that realm yet?
Actually, we have been working with a gentleman named Vondell Singleton, and he has a program. It's a mentoring program, and what the library has been doing has been reaching out to each of the schools in the district to invite them to this program once it comes.
And in the message, and I know the mayor made it very clear, even in his inaugural speech here, where he wanted that library system to reach out to seniors particularly, and get them engaged?
Absolutely. The seniors are one of our main priorities. We have different programs coming up for them very soon.
And people should know you can always feel safe because you're right on the grounds of the police department. That's true. And that's always got to be a key factor. But let's go back to your vision moving forward. Can you just talk about some of the things that, and even if you repeat some of them, that's good. I think people really want to pay attention to what are some of those things that you see forthcoming in terms of vision.
Well, some of the things that I see, like I was telling you earlier, community engagement, that's one of the biggest things. I want people to be able to come to the library and utilize our resources, and I want to provide more resources. So the mentoring program that we have coming up with Vondell Singleton, that's going to be major, especially this summer. We have different youth services programs that we have coming this summer, and I want to have fun. So I want to make sure that the community is coming out to our barbecues, to all of our events, everything that we plan on having.
And it sounds as though this particular administration of the library appears to be more outgoing in terms of outreach. And I know that's a key factor.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about diversity because, it's been, well documented that, our town has had some challenges down through the last few decades, but it appears now a lot has changed. Even when you come into Village Hall, you see people from all walks of life working together. And I know that's some of the things that you wanted to accomplish at the library as well.
Yes, Calumet City is a big city, and I had no idea how big it was until I started living here and venturing off. And one thing that we want to do is we want to make sure it's comfortable for everyone, all walks of life.
Right. Yeah, and that's been a key hit here, again, for the mayor here in City Hall. And I understand that you've had a wealth of support from the administration. Can you talk about that?
Yes, Mayor Jones and the city council has been amazing. Everyone has been chipping in, helping out. We had even one of the aldermen get on the grill for us one time.
We got to watch the taste test.
Yeah, so everyone has been very helpful. They've been very supportive. They've been coming to our events. They've been promoting for us. So it's been great.
And it feels good to have a team of elected officials, if you will, chiming in. Are you now feeling that same impact from the school board members and park district members as well? Is all that coming together?
Yes, it seems like everyone wants to collaborate with us, so it's been really good for us.
Scott, as we come to close, you as an African-American male being the president of the Calumet City Public Library has to be a fascinating feeling. Talk about your inner thoughts about that. You, yourself, taking the lead role, having this awesome task, this awesome responsibility. Let me hear your feelings about that.
Well, honestly, Sean, it's been a really great opportunity for me. I feel like the people of Calumet City, they need, some progress. They need something to have, something to look forward to. Right. And with me being the president, I feel like I'm able to make an impact on that.
Good. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be your last time on this show because as you grow there and the board grows and comes together, you got a fascinating board, by the way, congratulations. It appears that you're going to have a lot more announcements to make in the future.
Absolutely.
All right. Scott Nnamah, my man, he's just doing a fascinating job at the Calumet City Public Library, and we ask that you become more engaged to help with the progress there. And this has just been a fascinating time here, right here on New Day Calumet City. I've been your host, Sean Howard, and as we always say here on the show, keep the faith.